Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am filming this makeup tutorial on how to do this skull look for Halloween. So I actually used to do freelance makeup artistry while I was in college, and there was one Halloween where I got super into doing special effects makeup or just very intricate sort of looks, and I realized that I was pretty good at it. So now I like to do it every year. So if you're interested to see how I did this look, then stay tuned. It is not easy to eat or drink with this makeup on, but you gotta do what you gotta do for the stars.
So I started off by applying a light amount of foundation to my skin just to set an even base for the makeup that we're about to apply. Next, we're going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills waterproof eyeliner pot in black. And this is the brush that I use to do a lot of my line work. It is a flat, square-shaped, and it's firm enough that it provided me with stability while making the line work. And as you can see, I was looking back at my reference photo very often just to make sure that I was making the lines how I wanted them and kind of following the natural shape of my face and where I think essentially the skull lies on your face. This took a little bit of time, and there's my result. Then I went in on the nose, doing the same thing, just doing some line work. I'm sorry that it's a little out of view here, but I left that gap in the middle because I saw that on the Tate Langdon skull, and I really liked the way that that looked. So yeah, just outline the nose, however you want to do it. So next I went in and I filled in all those areas that need to be covered in black with the eyeliner from Beverly Hills, and I chose the waterproof one because it won't budge as much and it'll just stay longer. And I also got in the nostrils there. You don't have to, but it does add that extra element. Then I took a angled eyeliner brush and I started in on the teeth. So I started on the top lip and I outlined essentially where I wanted my teeth to be. I tried to make them somewhat even, but the two front ones I made a little bigger. Sorry, it's a little out of view, but I did 6 teeth on the top row. And as you can see, I'm going back in and just adjusting them a little bit, making them a little taller. And then I went and I made a line on either side of my lips, elongating the rest of the mouth for where the rest of the teeth are going to lie. So then I added, I think that's 3 more teeth on each side. And then that's when I went back in on the bottom row and just matched up where those teeth lie with the top row. And then I started doing the outline of the jaw. So I was looking at the picture a lot for this just to see, but also kind of following my natural face shape and where my cheekbones lie and where I think the skull would be itself. So now I have moved on to the end part of my teeth and connecting those at the top, kind of making it sort of I guess you could say the cylinder, just connecting it. And sorry it's a little bit out of view. This is my first ever makeup tutorial, so I am learning. I will get better with time, but here we are. So I did that as well on the bottom row. Had to take a sip of my dirty chai from Starbucks and then continued in on the eye portion, and I was doing the waterline with that same black eyeliner with a skinnier sort of brush, very small and angled. Then I took the Amrezy palette and I took any black eyeshadow will do. That was a very dense brush that I started with, and I just patted in that black eyeshadow just to, you can see the depth that it's adding and really just completing the look, because just the eyeliner itself is not enough. So this kind of mattified it. Then I went in with the fluffy brush, and that just kind of evened it out even more. I went back in with the super skinny brush and I added one extra tooth on the bottom row, which I saw is what one of my inspo pics did, and I liked the look of that. And now I am making the gap between the cheekbone and the jawbone and filling that in a little bit so that I know that all of that needs to be blacked out. And then I went ahead and I kind of started smudging the teeth line and elongating those lines. I used a clean brush for this and just went along all of the different teeth and just started the shading process, which honestly I did a lot of it off the camera, but as you can see here, I was just kind of smudging, going back in until I thought that it looked good, and elongating those teeth lines I think kind of gave it a creepy look, which I really liked. So I just kept going in, adjusting, and I think it's all up to your judgment of how you want it to look. So there is my result of my teeth from the smudging and all of that. I'm still using that super skinny brush, and I am outlining where I want the jawbone to be. So I pretty much just did the line right on my chin, and this really chiseled it out, and I loved the look that it gave. And I did that same thing on the other side and connected it, and that I was also defining the bones a little bit to make them look a little more like the picture. And then I went back in with a little bit of a bigger brush and I filled it in with that black eyeliner as well. So now I'm going to make some details around my eyes to kind of give me that angry skull look, and I'm using the Skinny Legend brush, and I'm using, of course, the same eyeliner, and then I'm going and making a little crack on between my jawbone and my forehead to add some character, and adding another line right at the beginning of the eyebrows to make me look angry once again. And then I used that same brush and I was going around the hollowed out parts and kind of shading, like right there, and I was using my fingers, shading a little bit. Back at it with that skinny brush, I went around my nose for the hollowed out parts there, as well as back in at the eyes. I ended up connecting those pieces that I'm doing right now because it just added a really good depth that I liked. And also around the cheekbone, anywhere that was hollowed out, essentially, I added a little line, and this really just elevated the look to look more. Anyway, so then I smudged it with a clean brush ever so lightly. Didn't want to smudge it too much, so wanted it to have that stark contrast, but a little smudging goes a long way. Using the Tarte Shape Tape, I blocked out my eyebrows a little bit to make them lighter, and I just directly went in and applied the product right to my eyebrows and did that to both of them, and then used a spoolie to run it through my eyebrows. And I did that a couple times just to really lighten them. And I didn't do this on camera, but I added a translucent powder to them as well. Now for some shading over the eyebrows, I used a brown sort of gray color right over top of them, right? See where I'm placing it, and this kind of elevated the skull to look even angrier, which I thought was pretty cool. And I've really blended this out for a while. Your arms are gonna get tired. The best thing to do is just to keep blending as much as possible, and it will look very smooth with a little bit of hard work. Next, I got a white eyeliner crayon sort of thing, and I went around the spots that I wanted to highlight. So pretty much the opposite of where I put those black lines, and then I used a clean brush to smudge those out and blend it and add a nice gradient to my highlighted parts. Same thing that we did on the cheeks, we're gonna do on the teeth. Just going in, adding that white highlight, smudging it out, and I did that a couple times to achieve the amount of highlight that I wanted on those teeth. And the last thing that I did to my face was reapply some black eyeshadow to the areas that had the black eyeliner. For my neck, I'm going in with the Hoola bronzer with a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to apply that bronzer to the sides of my neck to achieve a sort of sickly look, which I'm going for instead of doing an intricate outline of where the vertebrae are on the neck like my inspiration pics. I wanted to keep it simple, so I'm applying that bronzer to either side to add that dimension, and then I'm going in with my Makeup by Mario palette and I'm grabbing a darker brown and I'm going to apply that to kind of thin out my throat to achieve that sickly look. And I'm going to do that to both sides, and then I blended it a lot and kept adding more and more depth, and it did help me achieve a sort of, like I said, sickly, sort of scary skin vibe. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyway, so I blended that out as well, very much so. And here is my final look for my skull Halloween makeup tutorial.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I want to take it off. What do? I have to go in public soon. But I really just can't bring myself to.